Hey guys, Mix here. In today's video we are back with the new Kawasaki, and as you guys know from last video, we got this thing running and riding mint. Well, not mint, we still got a couple kinks to straighten out, but it does run pretty good. Today I want to do the basic maintenance that you want to do to a bike that's been sitting for a while and you just get it running. So what I want to do is check the air filter. We're gonna have to pop off the seat probably. I'm not sure how the airbox setup with this bike is, but I'm gonna guess that we just need to pop off the seat, and I'm curious to see how it is because I'm sure some critters might have made that place their home. Also, I want to do an oil change, and then I might also check the valves because this thing does tick a little bit when it is running, and this one just seems like it's ticking a little bit too much, and while I was sitting the valves could have got a little bit loose, and that could also explain why the compression is maybe a little bit too low. I mean, the compression's actually not that bad, but when I first got it, the compression was super low. So first I want to start off with popping off the plastics in the seat and pretty much the gas tank, I guess, if we're going to be checking the valves, because I kind of think that this filter is going to be pretty nasty. When I start it, I'll show you guys. So it runs fine, you know, but I cannot give it full throttle even when it's warm. It either always backfires at the exhaust. Yeah, see, it either backfires out the air filter or it just dies. So I definitely want to go ahead and check that air filter because we know that the carb is clean, we know that it has decent spark, and if it's bogging down like that, then I'm going to guess that the air filter might be a little bit dirty. So let's get started with that now so we can get this thing running right. Oh boy, oh jeez. So the seat is off and I can see the airbox now, and I guess this is like a little intake and that is filled with spider webs. So that's pretty nasty, but it looks like that this is like a little door on the side, and I just need to take off that Phillips, and then this should come off, and then I should be able to see the air filter. Okay, all right, here we go. Lot of spider webs, jeez. Oh, that is awful. Oh my god. I knew some type of critter made this place its home. Well, I kind of don't want to stick my hand in there, but I mean, I kind of cleared most of it out. The filter isn't too bad. It is, you know, it's pretty dirty, but I have another filter that's way cleaner than that one, so I'm gonna see if it'll fit in there, and if it does, that'll be pretty mint. All right, I'm going in. All there is a wing nut. I'm really hoping that there's not some type of poisonous spider in there. Oh god. All right, here we go. The inside isn't too bad actually. All right, so here's a closer look at the old air filter, and here's the new one I have, and obviously it's way bigger. This is off a DRZ 400, so the cage and everything definitely isn't going to fit into this, so I might just need to try and clean this thing up. What I am curious to see is how it runs without an air filter on. The screen in there does look pretty good. I don't know if you guys can see it, but doesn't look like anything's blocking that. But I do want to go ahead and wipe out all of that dirt and stuff in there, because there's a pretty good amount. Hopefully it comes off. It's not like caked on there. Oh yeah, it'll come off. Because after I clean this, I want to run it without the air filter, just real quick, just to see if the throttle response increases. And if it does, then we found our problem. Now that it is, for the most part, pretty clean in there, let's fire this thing up and see if there's any difference. So I'm gonna let it warm up just for a second before we go full throttle. And plus it needs to warm up before our oil change anyway, so it flows out nicely. Nope, still doing it. Once the RPMs are high, it'll be... Yeah, once the RPMs are high, it'll rev up fine. Yeah, no. So maybe it's not the filter. I mean, it is a good thing that we're cleaning the filter anyway, because, you know, you want to do that on a perfectly good bike anyway. But maybe the carb needs to be tuned up a little bit. When we took out the spark plug, it was a little bit lean because there was white on it. So what I might need to do is get a new spark plug for it, run it for a little while, and then see what color it is from there so we can narrow down our problem. Because sometimes it backfires out the airbox, which is a lean condition, and sometimes it backfires out the exhaust, which is a rich condition. So it's kind of back and forth. But right now I have the filter soaking in cleaner. So I'm gonna let all of that stuff, you know, do its job. But in the meantime, we can start taking off the skid plate, get to the oil drain, and see how that old oil looks. As I was just looking at the skid plate, I was like, man, these bolts are really, you know, annoying to get to. I was like, all right, maybe it has a drain underneath it. So it does, luckily. I've never had a bike with the skid plate that's had that, so that's pretty nice. All right, here we go, moment of truth. What would this oil look like? It's actually not too bad. Here's a closer look at the oil, and you know, I thought it'd be, you know, filled with water or something from sitting outside. You know, who knows what got into that engine, but it just looks like typical old, you know, dirty oil. So I'm gonna let that drain all the way out, and I'll put in some fresh oil. All the oil is done draining out, so I'm gonna go ahead and put back on the drain bolt, snug that all up, and put in the new oil. And also, I'm not gonna go ahead and put in a new filter, just because if that oil was all chunky, then I'll put in a new filter, but it'll be fine how it is. On my DRZ, I've changed that oil so many times, never changed the filter since I bought it, and that thing's still running mint. So I think that we should be fine not changing it. Alright, so now we're gonna take off the cap, put in 850 milliliters of fresh oil, which is pretty much just an entire quart of this. So we'll put it all in now, put back on the cap. And then the filter has been sitting long enough. Looks like that some of it came off. Hopefully the filter will breathe better now. Okay, that's just about all of it. Alright, so I'm going to let the oil settle, and then I'll check the little check window that it has, make sure that's all good. Then if not, then I'll just top it off. Alright, so now that the check window says that we have perfect amount of oil in there, we are good to go. Well, the bike just fell over and kicked over the oil pan, and yeah, I gotta clean that up. The shoes have officially been destroyed. I needed a new pair anyway, so it's fine. But right now, I'm kind of contemplating on whether or not I should go ahead and rip off the gas tank and take off the valve cover and go through a valve cover gasket, you know, just to do the valves, because the compression on this is really actually getting pretty tight. So I really just don't think it'll be worth the time of just going through it. And I looked up videos of these KOX 125s running, and literally all the videos had the same tick that I have, so I'm not too worried about it. But if it does go ahead and get like a really bad tick, then I'll go ahead, you know, and take off everything to get to the valve cover. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it. Alrighty guys, so we're actually back here the next day. As I was letting the air filter from yesterday dry out and everything, the sun did begin to set, so I went ahead and just put everything away, and I just said I'll pick it back up again tomorrow. So here we are, and after just checking over the footage and everything from yesterday, it might have seemed like I just didn't want to do the valves because I didn't feel like it, but I feel like there really wouldn't be no point to it, because the compression on this thing is really coming back. Like once I hit top dead center, this thing's hard to kick over. I just want to hold it off just for now, and if the ticking or the compression does get back lower, then I can just take it off. It's not a hard thing to do, but I just don't think it's necessary right now. What I do want to do is throw back on the plastics and start this thing up for the first time with the fresh oil and see how she runs. But let's get started with that now. The plastics in the seat are finally back on. The seat was such a pain to get on, but it is on, so I guess we'll try and fire it up and see if there's any difference. So I can definitely tell that the bike's running way smoother than it has been. It's definitely idling better and revving up a little bit better. The delay's still there, but it's definitely not as aggressive as it was before the whole bike would die down. But now, when there's the delay, it would still go, but we still need to try and figure out that whole delay. But what's next for this bike is definitely just to clean it up. I tried cleaning up the plastics with some of the advice that you guys gave me down in the comments. It did work a little bit, but I really couldn't get all of it off, so I'm probably just gonna go ahead and buy just brand new plastics. And then we need to clean up the frame and, you know, the exhaust and just everything that doesn't look good right now. Will be looking good by the time we're done with this. But anyway, guys, stay tuned for awesome videos. And also video will be in next video, so I'm really excited for that one to come out. The NASCAR and the pit bike will be coming back, I promise you guys. I'm still got to figure out these problems with those. But anyway, guys, we're almost at 30,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for all the support. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, and tell your friends about the channel.